I still remember the day I sat in that lawyer's office holding the envelope, with my name written in my grandfather's shaky handwriting. William had passed 3 weeks earlier, and the grief felt like a weight pressing down on my chest. But inside that envelope was something I never expected. He had left me everything. $150,000 and his old Victorian house on the edge of town. I held that paper and felt gratitude mixed with sorrow. What I did not know then was how quickly that gift would turn into a nightmare. 2 days after the funeral, my brother knocked on my door. Before I tell you how my own family turned against me for money, let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what happened next will show you exactly why you should never let anyone guilt you into giving up what is rightfully yours. Now, let me take you back to where it all started. My name is Gabriel. I am 28 years old and work as a freelance graphic designer in Portland, Oregon. Nothing fancy. I live in a small studio apartment with a window that overlooks a parking lot. My furniture came from thrift stores, and my coffee maker is older than some of my clients. But I have always been content with simple things. My brother Marcus is 4 years older. He lives up in Seattle with his girlfriend Lauren. Marcus works as a sales manager for some tech company and makes good money. Around $90,000 a year, I think. He drives a nice car and wears suits that cost more than my monthly rent. Growing up, Marcus was always the golden child. Our mother, Patricia, made that clear. He got the better bedroom, the newer clothes, the praise for every small achievement. I learned early not to expect much attention. But my grandfather, William, was different. He saw me. Every Sunday, I would drive 40 minutes to his house, and we would sit on his porch drinking sweet tea. He taught me how to fix things, how to listen, how to see the value in quiet moments. Marcus rarely visited. Maybe once every few months, usually around Christmas, or when he needed to borrow money. Grandpa never said much about it, but I could see the disappointment in his eyes whenever Marcus left early or spent the whole visit on his phone. When Grandpa William died of a heart attack at 76, I felt like someone had ripped a hole in my world. The funeral was small. Marcus showed up late and left early for a work call. Patricia cried loudly, but spent most of the reception talking to her friends about her book club. 3 days after we buried him, a lawyer named Mr. Anderson called me to his office. The waiting room smelled like old paper and wood polish. When I sat down across from his mahogany desk, he slid a folder toward me. "Your grandfather left specific instructions," Mr. Anderson said. His voice was kind but formal. "He wanted you to have this privately before the formal reading." I opened the folder. Inside was the will typed and notarized. My eyes scanned down the page until I saw my name. Gabriel Foster, beneficiary of the entire estate. $150,000 in savings. The house on Maple Street valued at approximately $300,000. Everything. There was a handwritten note clipped to the back. I recognized Grandpa's uneven script immediately. "Gabriel, you were the only one who cared about me, not what I could give you. Use this wisely. Make a life that makes you proud. Love, Grandpa." My hands shook. Mr. Anderson explained that Marcus and Patricia would receive some personal items, photographs, things like that. But the money and property went entirely to me. "He was very clear about his wishes," Mr. Anderson added. "He changed the will 2 years ago. Said he had his reasons. When I walked out of that office, I felt grateful and guilty at the same time. I knew this would cause problems. I was right. 2 days later, Marcus texted me. "Coffee, need to talk." We met at a cafe near my apartment. Marcus walked in wearing a pressed shirt and designer jeans. He did not ask how I was doing. He did not mention Grandpa, except to say so about the will. I stirred my coffee and waited. "Look, Gabriel," he started, leaning forward. "Lauren and I are getting married in 3 months. We have been planning this for over a year. The venue is incredible. We are inviting 200 people. It is going to be perfect." "That sounds nice," I said carefully. "The thing is," Marcus continued, "we are a bit short. The wedding is costing us around $80,000. We have most of it covered, but we need about $40,000 more. I was thinking, since you just inherited all that money, maybe you could help us out." I blinked. "Marcus, that is a lot of money." "Come on," he said, his tone shifting to annoyance. "We are family. Grandpa would want you to help your brother, right? Besides, you do not even need all that cash. You live in a tiny apartment. What are you going to do with $150,000? I felt my chest tighten. Grandpa left it to me for a reason. He wrote me a note explaining why. Marcus waved his hand dismissively. He was old and sentimental. He did not understand how the real world works. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event for me, Gabriel. For us, this wedding matters. I took a breath. I can lend you 5,000 if you really need it, but 40,000 is too much. His face darkened. 5,000? Are you serious? You just got handed $500,000 in total assets and you are offering me 5,000. It is what I can afford to give, I said quietly. Marcus stood up so fast his chair scraped the floor. You know what? Forget it. I always knew you were selfish, but this is a new low. Grandpa would be ashamed of you. He walked out without another word, leaving me sitting there with cold coffee and a sinking feeling in my stomach. That night my phone rang. It was my mother, Patricia. I almost did not answer, but guilt made me pick up. Gabriel, she said. Her voice was cold-clipped. Marcus told me you refused to help him. Mom, I offered him 5,000. I just cannot give 40,000 right now. Cannot or will not, she snapped. How can you be so selfish? He is your only brother. He has always been there for you. I wanted to ask when exactly Marcus had been there for me, but I stayed quiet. Your grandfather would be ashamed, Patricia continued. He would want you to support family. You owe Marcus at least $30,000. That is the minimum. I do not owe anyone anything, Mom. Grandpa left the money to me. Because he was manipulated, she hissed. You spent all that time with him filling his head with your sob stories. You tricked an old man. The accusation stung worse than anything Marcus had said. That is not fair. Fair, Patricia laughed bitterly. You want to talk about fair? Fine. If you do not help Marcus, do not bother coming to the wedding. Do not bother calling me family anymore. I am done with you. She hung up before I could respond. I sat on my couch staring at the wall until midnight. Sleep did not come easily that night. I kept replaying my mother's words, wondering if maybe I was being selfish. Maybe I should just give them the money. Maybe family was supposed to sacrifice for each other. But something felt wrong about the whole situation. 3 days later, someone knocked on my apartment door. I opened it to find Lauren standing there with a bright smile and a leather portfolio under her arm. Hi, Gabriel, she said sweetly. Can I come in? I stepped aside, confused. Lauren had never visited me before. She walked into my small living room and sat on my thrift store couch like she owned the place. I wanted to talk to you about the wedding, she began, opening her portfolio. Inside were glossy photos of flower arrangements, elaborate cakes, a stunning venue with crystal chandeliers. It is going to be beautiful, she said, flipping through pages. Look at this centerpiece design. And this is the dress I am ordering. It costs $12,000, but it is custom-made in Italy. I nodded, not sure where this was going. Lauren's eyes got misty. Gabriel, I have dreamed about this wedding since I was a little girl. Marcus and I have been together for 6 years. We have worked so hard for this moment. We deserve to have the perfect day. I am sure it will be great, I said. The thing is, Lauren continued, reaching out to touch my hand, we are not asking for a gift. We will pay you back, I promise. We just need help right now because all our savings are tied up in investments and the house down payment. She pulled out a piece of paper. Look, I even made a payment plan. We will give you $500 a month until it is paid off. That is totally doable for us. I looked at the paper. The math was vague, the timeline unclear. Something about her smile felt rehearsed. I need to think about it, I said finally. Lauren's face lit up. She hugged me tightly. Oh, Gabriel, thank you. You are the best brother-in-law. I knew you would understand. Marcus said you would come around. After she left, I felt even more conflicted. Lauren seemed sincere. Maybe I was being too harsh. Maybe I should just help them and keep the peace. But doubt gnawed at me. A week later, I was at the gym when I ran into Kyle, an old college friend of Marcus. We had not talked in years, but he recognized me and waved. Hey, Gabriel, Kyle said, wiping sweat from his forehead. How is wedding planning going? I bet Marcus is excited. It is going okay, I said carefully. There is a lot of stress with costs and everything. Kyle laughed. Costs? Man, I thought Marcus already had all the money figured out. He showed me a screenshot of his bank account last month. He was bragging about finally getting that inheritance money from your grandpa. My blood went cold. What do you mean? Yeah, he was showing everyone at the bar how much he was getting. Said something like, "It is about time the old man came through." Kyle seemed oblivious to my reaction. "Oh, and did you see Lauren's new car? That BMW is sick. $55,000 fully loaded. They are living the dream, man." I barely heard the rest of the conversation. My mind was racing. Marcus told people he was getting the inheritance. Lauren bought a $55,000 car. How could they afford that if they needed my money so desperately? That night, I did something I am not proud of. I created a fake social media account and looked up Lauren's profiles. I scrolled through her Instagram. There, posted just 5 days ago, was a photo of a gleaming black BMW with the caption, "Dream car achieved." So blessed. The comments were full of congratulations. One friend wrote, "You guys are killing it. First the car, then the Maldives trip. Maldives trip." I kept scrolling. 3 weeks ago, Lauren had shared a screenshot of a resort booking confirmation. 2 weeks in the Maldives at a 5-star resort. The package included private beach dinners and spa treatments. I did a quick search. That kind of trip costs at least $20,000. My hands were shaking. Marcus and Lauren were not desperate for money. They had plenty. They bought a luxury car. They booked an expensive honeymoon. They were lying to me. They wanted my inheritance to fund their extravagant lifestyle, not to survive. The betrayal hit me like a punch to the chest. My own brother, my own mother backing him up. All of them manipulating me, guilt-tripping me, making me feel like a terrible person for not handing over money they did not even need. 2 days later, Marcus called again. This time his tone was aggressive from the start. "We need $50,000 now," he said without preamble. "Lauren's parents are putting in $60,000, so you should match at least half of that. It is only fair." "I saw Lauren's new BMW," I said quietly. Silence. "That is different," Marcus finally said. "That is from Lauren's work bonus. That has nothing to do with the wedding. And the Maldives trip." More silence. "Then stop being nosy about our finances, Gabriel. Either you help or you do not. But do not pretend you care about us when you are sitting on a fortune doing nothing with it." "I am not giving you anything," I said firmly. "Fine," Marcus spat. "Then do not come to the wedding. Mom agrees with me. You are not welcome. You are not family anymore." He hung up. I sat there feeling hollow. But underneath the hurt, something else was growing. Anger. Determination. I was not going to let them get away with this. The next morning, I called a private investigator I found online. His name was Harris, and his website said he specialized in financial background checks. We met at a diner and I explained everything. Harris listened without judgment, taking notes. "Give me a week," he said. 7 days later, Harris handed me a folder thick with documents. I sat in my apartment and read through everything. Marcus's salary, $92,000 per year. Lauren's salary as a marketing manager, $75,000 per year. Combined annual income, $167,000. Their joint savings account, $123,000 as of last month. Recent purchases, BMW sedan, $55,000. Living room furniture from a high-end store, $15,000.